Global economy has not been recovered from the pandemic shock. And now we are facing a new risk, that is global political tension in the form of war in Ukraine. This war has created a spillover which is very critical for all people and humanity. Energy crisis and food prices has already escalated. With those challenges, the question to all of us is how we could carry through our collective commitment to respond to humanity's greatest challenges, that is climate change. As finance minister, we need to put the effort beyond business as usual. I believe we can promote synergy by creating opportunity and working together to pursue green, resilient, inclusive, and sustainable growth. The current very high energy prices provide us with even more opportunity to pursue those objectives. Fiscal policy should be used as well as become very critical to achieve this objective. And also carbon pricing as well as carbon market can also play an important role as an instrument to achieve this goal. Carbon pricing promises significant result in our effort in handling climate change. Of course, this is not going to happen immediately, and that's why many countries need to learn how to establish a carbon market and introducing carbon pricing without jeopardizing your own economic recovery and global economic situation. Carbon price is very powerful to shift the behavior of economic actors to switch to low carbon green economic activities in the medium and long term. In general, the using of carbon pricing scheme can actually be reached to the introduction of carbon market or carbon trading, or can be used to create a carbon offset, as well as introducing performance-based payment or result-based payment. And also, carbon price can be used as a basis to impose levies as on carbon or tax on carbon. Indonesia has already introduced this carbon price through our regulation, that is Presidential Regulation number 98, 2021 on carbon price regulation. Or this presidential regulation actually governs and creating a policy framework for the economic value of carbon. Currently, Indonesia is still preparing the implementation of this very important regulation. With the implementation of carbon trade, the government also now introducing carbon tax mechanism. This is already put in our legislation, and we are now designing with the stages to be able to adapt and adjust to this new mechanism. We are now preparing to implement this carbon tax and carbon trading within the context of energy sector, or very specifically on a power plant which is based on coal. In 2025, the implementation of carbon tax could be extended to the other sector which contribute to our nationally determined contribution. Of course, we really have to design and to measure and calculate all the benefit and the cost, and most importantly, also designing the transition mechanism that is just and affordable. A carbon tax provides a strong signal to encourage the development of carbon market. Carbon tax can also providing support for technological innovation and to create a more efficient, low carbon and environmentally friendly investment. Carbon trading can also benefit companies for them to identify low-cost way of reducing emission. The establishment of carbon market, of course, need a proper condition, both institutional framework, policy framework, and especially also in creating communication, especially for the business and energy sector, so that they are all not only fully aware, but also prepared for this new policy regime to be implemented effectively. But we also understand that carbon market is borderless. That's why for all of us to be able to use this carbon market for each jurisdiction, we have to also discuss on our next agenda how to shift paradigm from individual interests to the global interests. This is a very challenging task because each country still have a different development and ability to implement this very important policy agenda. The evolution of carbon pricing is related to the discussion of Article 6 rules of Paris Agreement. And it has a far-reaching implication to support many initiatives, such as energy transition mechanism or the Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero. Our coalition, that is the Coalition of Finance Ministers for Climate Action, have the objective to explore of all these options and the development, including also the challenge on our next ministerial meeting. We know that this policy is not easy to implement or to design, but this is very important and powerful tools. So we need to be very open-minded. Look at the merit of this instrument and how we are going to be able to create a coalition so that this instrument can be implemented in a very equal and just across all jurisdictions. Indonesia, with just implementing carbon pricing, are fully aware that this is not going to be easy. And that's why we are very open-minded and pragmatic. We know that we need a united coalition for all Ministry of Finance in order for us to be able to achieve this good cause. If we have strong determination, we actually can achieve a success. Finally, with this current global challenge, I do hope that we are all remain committed in forcing and maintaining a collaboration. Climate change is a global problem. It cannot be solved by any country alone. Collaboration, as well as working together, is going to be needed. That's why this platform of coalition is very important. We are aiming to continue promoting constructive collaboration. If we can act together, we are going to be able to provide confidence and direction to save our Earth and make it a better place to live for our future generation. Thank you, and I wish you all the best.